G'day you mob and welcome to Aussie English. I am your host Pete and my objective here is to teach you guys the English spoken down under. So whether you want to sound like a fair dinkum Aussie or you just want to understand what the flippin' hell we're on about when we're having a yarn, you've come to the right place. So sit back, grab a cuppa and enjoy Aussie English. Let's go. G'day you mob, how's it going? Welcome to this episode of Aussie English, the number one place for anyone and everyone wanting to learn Australian English. I hope you guys are having an absolute ripper of a week. I hope you've had fun, and if you're up north, far out, there's loads of floods happening at the time of me recording this podcast, and there's lots of rain. So if you guys are up there in the north of New South Wales, I'm wishing you all the best. I hope you guys are all safe and sound, and your loved ones are all safe and sound as well. And yeah, if you're battling with this currently, I wish you all the best and hope you get through it okay. All right. So for a bit of fun, I thought I would try something different today. And I'll tell you why and how I came up with this idea with one of my students. So as I mentioned quite a lot, guys, I do private lessons. If you guys want private lessons, feel free to shoot me a message on Instagram or Facebook or email me at pete@aussieenglish.com.au. But one of my students, Andy, is sick today and can't make it to one of the lessons because he's lost his voice. So I had to come up with an idea for him because I wanted to give him some homework and everything to do while he was sick and unable to come to class. So I said to him, what if I send you some messages on WhatsApp? I'll send you some sentences that I read out. I'll include some Australian slang and I'll also read them out 2 times. So I'll read them out really quickly as I would normally when I'm speaking. You know, at the same level, native level English, the natural way that I would say these sentences. And then I'll also read it out afterwards more slowly. And your goal, Andy, this week is to try and transcribe what you hear. Trying to listen to these sentences multiple times and then write down what you think you hear me saying with these sentences. And I have included for him a Word document that has the sentences written down in there, so the answers that he can see and check after he's tried to transcribe these sentences, and also a glossary with the slang and vocab at the end to help him understand some of the lingo, some of the slang, some of the language that I use in these sentences. And I asked him, I said, do you mind if I make this a podcast episode? Because, I'm sure lots of other students would benefit from this and would like doing the same thing. And you can also, obviously, Andy, you can also listen and repeat this exercise on the podcast too. So I would love to get your feedback, guys. Let me know what you reckon if you enjoy this. I will include the transcript for this for premium podcast members. So if you're a premium podcast member, you'll be able to read the entire transcript of this episode. But I will also have a free worksheet download where you can do this exercise whilst listening to this podcast episode for free. So you can see the answers, you can see the sentences that I'm saying, you can check your answers, and you can also see the vocab and slang glossary at the end with the different slang terms and everything. Looks like there's about 30 or so in there. I haven't numbered them, maybe a bit more. So there'll be 20 sentences. Some of them are short-ish, some of them are a bit longer. I will also include in this worksheet space for you to try and write these sentences out first. So at the top of the worksheet, there'll be room for you to just print this out and then try and listen and write these sentences down as you hear them. And then at the bottom, you will see the answers, so the sentences as they are written. And then below that, you will see the glossary. So again, you'll be able to grab that worksheet. The link will be in the description for the podcast episode, but it will also be on the website for free. If you just search for this podcast episode number, you will find it. It'll come up and you can download it for free. I guess let's just get into it. So I'm going to read out each of these sentences. We'll do it twice. And again, give me feedback. This is the first time I'm doing an episode like this, so if you feel like you need to hear it more times, let me know. But obviously, you can always pause and rewind and, do all that sort of stuff if you need to listen many, many, many times. I'll do it twice. I'll do it naturally, and then I will do it more slowly so that you can hear it. And the good thing about this is, whilst also working on your transcribing skills, hearing something and writing it down, because you get to hear it at 2 speeds, So you'll hear me saying it quickly and naturally first, with a lot of the spoken English pronunciation changes, words that merge into other sounds and words, all that sort of stuff. You'll get to hear that in context, how an Aussie would speak, which is the difficult part of understanding Australian English, but any language. It's getting that connected speech and how the language is shortened and used when speaking naturally. And then I will also include it slowed down so that you can hopefully hear the actual words in there when I split them up a bit more and say them more clearly, okay? Anyway, been rabbiting on for about 5 minutes, so let's just get into it. So 20 sentences. Get your piece of paper out, download the worksheet. If you don't have it yet, pause it, go get the worksheet, print it out, or open it in Word on your computer, whatever you want to do, and get ready to write down what you hear, okay? And I guess, too, you could use this as a pronunciation exercise, too. I'll try and leave enough space after each of these sentences so that you can also read them out or say them out loud and practice your own Aussie pronunciation, both quick and slow. So there you go. We're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Maybe even 3 birds. Okay, here we go. Number 1. I'll grab a cuppa and head out to the backyard. I'll grab a cuppa and head out to the backyard. It was so hot I nearly fainted at the servo. It was so hot I nearly fainted at the servo. We're having a barbie at ours, the Savo. Bring your own snags. We're having a barbie at ours this arvo. Bring your own snags. Did you see the bloke who chucked a sickie last week? Did you see the bloke who chucked a sickie last week? The weather's been wild. Wind, rain and mozzies everywhere. The weather's been wild. Wind, rain and mozzies everywhere. That's not bad for a first go. Fair dinkum effort. That's not bad for a first go. Fair dinkum effort. I reckon he'll rock up late again. Typical Mick. I reckon he'll rock up late again. Typical Mick. She lives in a tiny flat just down the road. She lives in a tiny flat just down the road. Don't forget your sunnies and thongs. We're off to the beach. Don't forget your sunnies and thongs. We're off to the beach. He couldn't be bothered fixing it. Said he'd do it later. He couldn't be bothered fixing it. Said he'd do it later. We popped down to the shops and ended up having a cheeky meat pie. We popped down to the shops and ended up having a cheeky meat pie. Can you chuck us the remote? The footy's about to start. Can you chuck us the remote? The footy's about to start. He was flat out like a lizard drinking all week. Poor bloke. He was flat out like a lizard drinking all week. Poor bloke. They rocked up with an esky full of drinks and a tray of lamingtons. They rocked up with an esky full of drinks and a tray of lamingtons. I was knackered, so I just had a quick kip on the couch. I was knackered, so I just had a quick kip on the couch. You should have seen the look on her face when the kookaburra stole her chip. You should have seen the look on her face when the kookaburra stole her chip. It started bucketing down right after we hung the washing out. It started bucketing down right after we hung the washing out. She's always banging on about her new combi. Says she's going to drive up the coast. She's always banging on about her new combi. Says she's going to drive up the coast. We got lost in the bush but bumped into a friendly old cockatoo. We got lost in the bush but bumped into a friendly old cockatoo. He had no clue where he was going, but he gave it a red-hot go. He had no clue where he was going, but he gave it a red-hot go. So there you go, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I've just thought whilst going through this too, this is how much I'm flying by the seat of my pants and kind of improvising as I go. I will make a bonus members-only episode for premium podcast members so that they can listen to me go through each one of these sentences again and discuss the vocab in the sentence, okay? So there was slang. I tried to include slang or contractions of spoken English in each of these sentences, things like cuppa, servo, arvo, didya, gonna, all those sorts of things. And I think a lot of you will probably be asking me, Pete, can you actually break it down and discuss each of these one by one? So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to include it as a bonus episode for members of the premium podcast. If you want to sign up and check that out, you can go to aussieenglish.com.au/podcast, and you can sign up and get access to the transcripts for every single episode on the podcast except the Pete's 2 Cents episodes. There's like a handful of those that are the only ones that don't come with transcripts. The other 1,000 or more have transcripts. And you will also obviously get bonus episodes that I include for members only. So anyway, thank you for joining me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I would love your feedback. So if you have any suggestions on how I could improve the format of these episodes, if you would like more in the future, if you would like them on different topics, if you would like shorter sentences, longer sentences, please let me know. Shoot me a message, shoot me an email, pete@aussieenglish.com.au, and let me know, Pete, I love the episode, do this. Pete, I hated the episode, don't do it anymore. Tell me what you think. And also, if you want private lessons, let me know. Shoot me a message, Instagram, Facebook, or shoot me an email, pete@aussieenglish.com.au, and I'll send you the details and we can hopefully organize something. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me, mate. I hope you have a ripper of a week, and I'll chat to you next time. And Andy, I hope you get better soon. See you, mate.